What's up everyone? Today I wanted to talk about Hunter x Hunter. So, Hunter x Hunter is a show that actually finished yesterday. And I thought, hey, why not do something a bit different today? Why not do a ranking of all of the arcs? So, I have watched the whole anime, but I've not read any of the manga. So, we'll only include the first 7 arcs, not the other 2, only the 7 arcs that are part of the anime. So let's begin. Numbers. Oh, by the way, I will spoil the entire show here. So if you haven't watched Hunter x Hunter, go and watch it before watching this video. At number 7, I've put the Greed Island arc. So the Greed Island arc was not an arc that I was impressed with at all. And one of the reasons being that this arc threw way too much jargon at you, and I basically couldn't keep up with that. And it wasn't like it threw out jargon that was necessary for the plot. This jargon was more just for this arc alone. It wasn't, for example, jargon that was actually useful, like for example in the Heaven's Arena arc with Ned, the Ned superpowers. No, in this arc they threw out a lot of information, but I couldn't keep up with it. Also, the second reason being I just really didn't like Biscuit at all. She's probably my least favorite character in the show. She was just so obnoxious, I thought. Yes, she is supposed to be like this 40-year-old woman that looks like a 10-year-old. I just thought she was acting like a 10-year-old. Like, she was so immature, and she tried to boss Killua and go on around, who are already at this point in the story like really overpowered. But she thought it was a good idea to boss them around, and I just thought that was really obnoxious of her to do. She should have not coached them. Like, what place does she have? I thought that they were probably also way better than her at like everything. So yeah, didn't like her at all. My least favorite character in the show. And my third reason for this arc being one of my lesser favorites is that it didn't really have any result at the end. And yes, as you can see later on the list, just because I like the arc doesn't mean that it has a great result, but in this arc it was such a disappointment. There was this reveal about Jing being behind the development of the game Greed Island, and that they were actually, oh, the Greed Island is actually a real place. Oh, who would have known? No, I don't care. Like, I really don't care, because that only means that the whole fucking point of this game was to go on to win. It was already predetermined from the start to him to win. That was just such a disappointment. So yeah, I'm not a fan of Green Island. And number 6, I have put the Soldic family arc. Now, the Soldic family arc is an unofficial arc, but I thought this arc is worth at least mentioning, even though it really consists of only about 4 or so episodes. But I thought what was so interesting about this arc is seeing kind of the dynamics between the Soldic family and how this was a part of Killua's character, how all of these family members had influenced him. So for example with Illumi, who had he's really one of the villains in the show, because he had not only put in a needle in his head to spy on him and put in these really neglecting and self-defeating beliefs. Yeah, we have Illumi. We also had, of course, his parents, his mom being like all overprotective, but then his dad being like pretty chill and doesn't really care too extensively what Killua does with his life, if he goes with the hunter exam or if he does not. So yeah, seeing this whole family dynamic was really interesting. And I also really liked how they showed how Gon and the crew, how they were treated. Like, they weren't really accepted at first. They had to go through all of these like challenges just to meet Killua, because the Soldic family was that preserved and that secretive, that prestigious, because the Soldic family are basically a group of assassins who you shouldn't basically mess with them. But yeah, this arc I think was short, sweet, to the point, and also I really liked seeing how the family dynamics, and seeing how Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio were treated. Why I like the Soldic family arc is that you got to see Killua, who, in my humble opinion, is actually the emotional center of the show, and actually is the real main character. Because yes, even though Gon is technically the main character, Killua is way more developed and dynamic. Alright, so at number 5, I have put the Heaven's Arena arc. Oh yes, this might be really controversial, but I thought the Heaven's Arena arc had one really good moment with the battle between Hisoka and Gon. But other than that, I mean, this arc was fine. I liked seeing Gon and Killua beat under hunters who were too self-righteous and thought that a mere child couldn't beat them. But other than that, the song was fine, I would say. I liked seeing the explanation of Nen. That was also another thing I liked about this arc, other than the fight between Gon and Hisoka. I think Nen is really one of the most complex power systems I've ever seen. The most complex, I would dare say. Because yes, even though I've watched shows like One Piece, Naruto, or Bleach, or even Dragon Ball, from the shonen I have watched, I would have to say that this anime had the most complex power system, and nothing about Nen was exactly confusing. Everything about it really actually made sense. Alright, so at number 4, I have put the election arc. Yes, even though I thought the election arc was a bit rushed, and it had a lack of Gon, and seeing the main character in the show being hospitalized, it was a bit lame. But seeing Gon and Jing meet, that was cool. Seeing Leorio again was cool. Seeing kind of the politics in the world of the hunters, that was cool as well. So at number 3, I have the Hunter exam arc. So the Hunter exam arc laid the foundation of the show, and yes, it didn't have the highest highs. And yes, people say, oh, this arc is not really that good, it's the weakest part of Hunter x Hunter. No, you're wrong, because like I said, this arc laid the whole foundation of the anime. Seeing the beginnings of Gon, Killua, Kurapika, and Leorio. Seeing the beginning of their characters, their motifs. Seeing Leorio, for example, using his hunter card to become a doctor, or seeing Kurapika having this motive of wanting to avenge the Venom Troop, or seeing Killua wanting to basically just have fun with it because he's already pretty overpowered, so why not just check off the box that says to be a hunter. And seeing, of course, Gon in this days before he kind of lost it in here. And what I also liked about this arc is just how innocent it is. There weren't really any dark moments per se in this arc. Alright, so at number 2, I have put the Chimera Ant arc. No! Why did you put Chimera Ant arc at number 2? It's the best arc in the show. No, it's not. It's really good. I can't deny. This arc has the highest highs in the entire anime. With, for example, episode 110 with Netero and seeing his backstory. In, for example, episode 115 with Gon kind of preparing his Nen for the battle against Nerf Pito in, for example, episode 131 with Gon and battling Nerf Pito, scene 135 when Meruem did his last shogi battle against Komugi. That was like a really tear-jerking and touching moment. But yes, this arc has the highest highs of the entire anime, but I still didn't think that the arc as a whole was great. So, not only that, I thought there were way too many side characters in this arc, like that didn't really get a lot of development, and not only that, I thought this arc has way too much build-up. Yes, the build-up had its payoffs at the end, but there was so long, the build-up. And yes, I really liked around from episode 76 to episode 90. I was saying the early stage of the Chimera Ant arc, but then there was stretches of episodes that were a bit tiring and almost, dare I say, boring to watch. And yes, it had its payoffs, like I just said, but still, I thought this arc was really good, but just slightly overhyped. And plus, I knew sadly some spoilers before going into it, so it was like, oh my gosh, man, this arc is amazing, this is the best thing I ever watched. No, I had a bit too high expectations of it, plus I knew some spoilers beforehand. So, my favorite arc in Hunter x Hunter has to be the York New City arc that stretches between 20 or so episodes. But the York New City arc follows Kurapika, who, by the way, is my favorite character in the entire show. Seeing him battle against the Phantom Troop. Now, the Phantom Troop, if I would compare them to the Chimera Ants, the Chimera Ants were really disorganized. There were so many members in the Chimera Ants that wanted to become the king of the animal kingdom. But no, that was not the case in the Phantom Troop. The Phantom Troop were basically indestructible. They knew their role, and they were so well organized, I thought, because they did almost everything together. None of them went out alone. None of them went out on their own and tried to become like a ruler or something like that. No, they knew their place. And I also really liked how the Phantom Troop were organized like a spider. So we had Crawler Lucifer, the leader of the group, who was the head of the spider. And then all the legs of the spider were basically all the other members. So, yeah, and only one of them got killed. So yeah, even though I thought the Chimera Ant arc had way higher highs, this arc was extremely consistent with keeping me entertained and enthralled throughout the entire arc. And yes, my favorite episode was of course when Kurapika fought against that the guy, that really impulsive guy. I forgot his name. But that was such a great moment. Finally seeing him avenge one of the members. And Crawler Lucifer, probably one of my top 3 anime villains, alongside Shogo Makishima from Psycho Pass and Lord Gino from Gurren Lagann. But I really liked Crawler Lucifer. So yeah, that was my whole list here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.